Hi everyone. In today's video, I will give you 10 important points that you should be thinking about when you are thinking about including the methodology in your research design. This is a very important stage of research design. You must think of these important points before you decide on your proposed methodology. Welcome to Search Research with Dr. Sam, your online thesis guide and advisor. Let's start with the first point. Before you decide on your methodology, ask yourself, what is the main purpose of your research? Are you trying to change an injustice in the world, a system which is old established? For example, are you changing the way pension is calculated for senior citizens? This is an old system that you're trying to make a change about. Or you're trying to understand how social reality is perceived through the perspectives of the researched. So, are you asking the students as to what learning technique engages them the most? What is the purpose? Changing systems, policies, procedures, or understanding how your research participants think about the process? The second thing you have to ask about is what is your role in the research when you're thinking of methodology? Think about your role. Are you an expert? For example, are you an engineer who has designed a car's engine, let's say, that can reduce emissions, that can reduce fuel consumption? You are an expert. You are claiming it to be so, and you are proving it to be through experiments. Or you are just a change agent. So what you have done is you have investigated as a unbiased observer and you are reporting the findings of your research as an unbiased observer. So you are a change agent here. Thirdly, ask yourself, what is the nature of your knowledge? For example, do you believe there are facts or laws that can be known? Or is knowledge informed historically through insights that occur from time to time and replace ignorance and misapprehensions? It is your purpose. What is the nature of knowledge? Are you bringing in some new knowledge? So you have to make a new contribution. Remember that. Are you introducing a new theory, a theory that has not been studied? Or you are trying to study an old theory and bring changes to the old theory, introducing little changes to the old theory. The second one is what we normally do in a PhD. You have to make a novel contribution, but you have to think about what are you trying to achieve through the methodology. Are you introducing a new theory or you are testing a old theory and trying to bring some changes in it? Point number 4, what are the criteria you are bringing to judge the quality of your research? For example, should the research be objective and generalizable, or should it contribute to a fundamental change in social life? So, objective and generalizable is when you're designing a methodology, you just want to be again an unbiased observer, notice how things are the way they are. Alright? Or what you are doing is you basically notice the changes or notice what is happening and bring about a change and see the impact of that change. Alright, so you may have a control group, a treatment group. The control group is where the treatment doesn't go through, and the treatment group is when you introduce the change. So you compare the control group with the old system and the treatment group with the new system, and you make a comparison. So you're bringing about a change. Or you can simply observe what is happening and report it. How people behave in a certain setting, how people respond to a certain medicine, and you are not introducing any change or making any comparison. The next thing you have to think about is, do you think your beliefs and values should affect your research? Alright, do you have very strong beliefs, very strong values? For example, do you believe that students learn best by doing, or do you believe in the opposite? So if you are a strong believer of students learn best by doing, then you have to incorporate it in your methodology. You have to test it out. You have to show, even though they may learn better by not doing, but you have to incorporate this. So if you have strong beliefs, you have strong perception, strong values, then you should introduce that in your methodology to make sure that people can see what change it could have brought about or not. You need to incorporate it. Just simply stating it in theory will not be sufficient. You need to test out your beliefs. So test out your beliefs and values. Whether you get the desired results or not is not in your control. It's up to the participants. The next, number 6, you should think about is, what is the place of ethics in your research? Now remember, your research has to be ethical. Ethics is a big thing in research. It has to be ethical. You need to get ethics approval. For example, do you consider it sufficient to abide by the professional code of ethics as by your profession or by the university? Or should the way the research is conducted closely match to your own ethical framework? All right, so who do you want to keep the research participants anonymous, or do you want to let them be known, or you can name them? Do you want to divulge any details or not divulge details at all? So it's up to you. So what kind of ethics are you going to follow? So if once you are designing the methodology, you have to think about the ethical considerations. Is there any human testing involved? Is there any animal testing involved? So you have to pre-think about these things, right? Because you have to apply for ethics. You also have to make sure that your research is then manageable. So when you're designing a methodology, you have to think about all these things, because then it helps you to plan ahead. You can also think about the funding that will be required depending on the kind of methodology you're designing. Are you designing a complicated methodology? Are you designing a simple methodology? Is it just a questionnaire, just interviews? Is there any human involved, or is it just observation? Are people comfortable being observed? Are you going to video record them? So these are all the ethical considerations that you may have to think about. Point number 7, what voice do you adopt when writing a research report? All right. For example, are you writing as a disinterested scientist? That means a neutral observer only. Neutral observer who is just reporting the findings as it is. You do not take a stand. You do not have very strong values, or you're reporting as a transformative, what we call is a transformative intellectual. That means that you had certain beliefs before, but the research changed those beliefs and reporting that. Or you might be reporting as a passionate participant. So you have decided to participate in a research project, and you are yourself fascinated by what you have found, and you are reporting it. It was passionate, it was something new for you, so you are reporting it as well. So what voice will you adopt when writing a research report? Remember, the report has to be interesting, it has to be understood by all, it cannot be very technical. The findings have to be reported in a way that the general people can understand it when they read it. So you have to find the right voice, and to find the right voice, you have to design the right methodology which will get you that right findings for you to report. All right, so depending on what findings you want to find is the voice you will take up. Then I think this is one of the most important thing is, what do you or your research team or your teachers, managers, colleagues, supervisors think are the essential issues that you need research training in? Now you've thought about a qualitative design or a quantitative research methodology. It doesn't matter. You may think of both. You may think of a mixed method research. You may be thinking of doing surveys or interviews or focus groups. But the question you have to ask yourself is, are you trained in these skills? You have to be trained in administering surveys, carrying out one-to-one interviews, being unbiased during these interviews, then carrying out focus groups, how to let people participate in focus groups where one can become the dominant voice and one can become very submissive, or statistical analysis that you may be required to be carrying out, any softwares that you need to know. So you need to identify these training needs and make sure that you are trained in the proposed methodology before you start collecting data. Before collecting data, you should be an expert in this particular skill. Alright, so for example, should you be trained primarily in technical knowledge about measurement, design and quantitative methods, qualitative approaches? Do you need to be re-socialized away from your existing assumptions about the nature of research, so on and so forth? Then the next and very important point again is, can you accommodate several methodologies? So what happens is, students often get excited. They read a lot of different theses and they think that it is easy to incorporate all that they have read in their own research as well. So they try to include qualitative, quantitative, mixed method design. They do triangulation. They talk about all these things, because the more you read, the more knowledge you gain, the more you want to include in your thesis. But it has to be manageable. You need to be able to not only design a methodology, but also implement it, get the findings, and you should be able to justify the methodology. The different methodologies that you use in your research, it should be justifiable. You have to justify to your examiner, to your reader, why you adopted different methodologies. Why was one methodology not sufficient? Maybe just a survey would have been sufficient based on your research question, but you attempted a qualitative, and you are not reporting anything new. You are not triangulating your findings. You are just carrying it out because you thought it will be the right way to do. That is not the correct way to do about it. Firstly, you are wasting your time. You need the skills. And secondly, if you have nothing new to say, you are not triangulating, you are not confirming or contradicting your data, you are not adding something new, then you should not accommodate several methodologies. So have a discussion with your supervisor. Try to find the reasoning. Try to convince through writing why you adopted different methodologies. And finally, and last, who is the audience for your research? Think very carefully. Where are you trying to create the impact? I always say this towards the end of the video, that your research is always measured by the impact you are creating. For example, are you trying to persuade the government administrators or the funders or the policy committees, the feminists, the Marxist of your colleagues and your fellow researchers? So the example I took up initially was, now you are trying to find out how is pension calculated for senior citizens of age more than 60 or 65, right? Now if you find something wrong, who are you going to try and report this to? Where do you want to make this change? Where do you want to create the impact? Who do you want the audience? Because once you create that impact, then your research is valued. You get that name, and you get the right audience. People will know you, people will approach you, they will seek your advice and input. You become, an advisor towards making these changes in systems, policies, procedures, or you want to make changes in educational practices. Depends on who your research is, but think about the audience before you think about the methodology, because the methodology will get you the right results to create that impact. So these were the 10 important points you must think about. I really urge you to do so, because I have made mistakes when I was designing my methodology, and I don't want you to be too late for you. So think about each of these questions. Make sure you have answer to each of these questions before you finalize your methodology. Also have a chat with your supervisor, your friends, colleagues, guides, and let me know what you thought about this video. Thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you soon with my